This will make or break the Golden State Warriors. We have 4 preseason games in the books and so many things to be excited about as the NBA regular season tip-off is just 6 days away. And after watching these first couple preseason games, 2 things specifically, 2 players stand out as major X factors for the upcoming season. What's going on, everybody? I'm Houston, but you're watching Warriors Digest. And before we get into all the discussion surrounding, yes, Brandin Podziemski and Johnathan Kuminga, I want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. Folks, we are approaching the beginning of the NBA regular season. The Johnathan Kuminga drama, the impressive signings of Horford, Steph Curry, Gary Payton, Will Richard, all of those things are in the past. And now all of a sudden we approach the beginning of the season. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on content. A lot of videos going to be coming out late into the night, especially where I'm from. Most games starting at 9 or 10 o'clock, right? And then I'm getting videos out at about 1 a.m., 1:30, 2 a.m., right? We're putting in the work to support you guys, bring the videos out, bring the headlines, bring the news. Hit the subscribe button, especially as the season approaches, so you never miss out on news, headlines, content, all that type of coverage throughout the upcoming season. And today is sort of day 1 of regular season prep. You know, we've had all this stuff that's been going on from the off season, even through the end of the season last year, into training camp, and now into the preseason, and now just 6 days away from an opening night tip-off in Los Angeles against the Lake Show. No LeBron James, but Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, the addition of DeAndre Ayton, for sure going to be doing everything they can to get an opening night win at home against your Golden State Warriors. And as we look to that game, 2 things that major stand out to me, and it's 2 players. It's Johnathan Kuminga and it's Brandin Podziemski. These are 2 guys who have been very polarizing throughout their early careers. Johnathan Kuminga probably more than Podziemski. Podziemski more polarizing from a fan base perspective because you either sort of love pods or you hate pods. And that's usually a situation for a lot of guys. But with Podziemski, you love him one night and then you hate him the other night, right? And now he's come out talking about how he kind of wants the keys to the franchise after Steph and Draymond, right? And we've seen this optimism around the future of the Warriors and what that's going to look like, right? Podziemski, Kuminga, they want to be the guys that once Steph and Dre retire, right, they can hand the keys off to and have confidence in where this organization is going moving forward. And Brandin Podziemski did this in the third preseason game of the year. Brandin Podziemski, 23 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, super efficient in just 26 minutes of basketball. If this type of Brandin Podziemski is the Brandin Podziemski we get throughout next season, this upcoming season, I should say, then I will feel very confident about the direction of this organization. I will feel very confident about how this franchise is going to progress throughout the season, right? But then you have other games like last night and even the first couple where it's a little bit less of what you want to see from Podziemski, right? So we understand exactly what he wants to be for the upcoming season. He wants to be a team-first guy, but he also stands that he wants to be a headlines guy. He wants to put himself into a position to be an all-star, to be a to be a future, playmaker, Jalen Brunson type guy in this league. He wants to be a star point guard for an organization, and he wants to do it in the Bay Area. So Podziemski's looked good, but he's also looked rough. Johnathan Kuminga making strides in the right area as well. And this is from last night's game. So Brandin Podziemski has a great game, and then he has a game not so great. But what I can tell you about is even when he's not scoring, don't automatically look at that and assume that he's not producing in other ways, right? Last night, 1 of 9, 1 of 6 from 3 in those same 25, 26-ish minutes, right? But he did other things on the floor that helped the team win. A plus 10 overall on the night, in a night where there wasn't a whole lot of guys in the positive category, okay? Rebounded the ball pretty well. He's always going to be a solid guard rebounder for this team. Got a few assists, a steal, did what he could, even though he just scored 4 points, right? Now, looking down the rest of this list, Al Horford hit 2 threes last night. That's encouraging. Steph Curry, we'll talk about him a little bit better. Played fantastic, getting to the free throw line. When's the last time he's had 13 free throws in a game? How about 13 free throws in a preseason game in just 27 minutes? We have a full video coming out on that and the excitement about what that's going to look like as far as Steph Curry and the new hand touch rule after a 3 and how he's going to draw so many more fouls on 3-point balls this year. Jackson Rowe, Trayce Jackson-Davis, the rest of the bench looked pretty solid. Will Richard was the second most impressive guy on the floor last night. We got a video coming out on him as well, too, and I'm very excited about what he's going to be, right? And then you look at the development from what we've wanted from Johnathan Kuminga. We've said, hey, Johnny, you need to commit in other areas, right? And alongside that, we want both of you and Brandin Podziemski to be versatile Iron Man type guys for this upcoming season. Pods and Kuminga haven't missed a whole lot of games throughout their early career, but Pod specifically looks at Steph and Jimmy and says, hey, year after year they're able to play 65 plus games being at the age they are and doing it at the usage and high level they're doing it at. Podziemski says, hey, how can I get to 75 plus games? how can I find a way to be consistent and durable throughout the season, and not only playing a lot of games, but playing well in a lot of games is something Podziemski and Kuminga, we need from them from this upcoming season. And now we look at Kuminga and we say, hey, we need you to develop in other ways that you haven't been developing. Johnathan Kuminga has looked fantastic through the first 4 games of the season. Defensively, he's looked way more engaged. He looks smarter. He looks like his IQ's developed. But the most important and the most impressive thing I've seen through the first several games is his decision-making and his playmaking on the fast break. Johnathan Kuminga, 8 games of 4 assists last season. 8 games of 4 assists. That's very poor for a player who plays as much as Johnathan Kuminga does. Through the first 4 games of the NBA preseason, he's got 3 already while playing pretty much the first half. Is pretty much all that Johnathan Kuminga has been playing. And I tell you what, it is an eye test thing too. When you watch Johnathan Kuminga play right now, he looks improved from a decision-making standpoint. He has a lot of opportunities in the past couple of years where he's driven, got so focused on his own scoring ability, puts his head to the ground, tries to draw a foul, whatever, takes a bad fadeaway, mid-range jumper, forces a 3, right? All of a sudden, those are bad decisions. We want him out of the game. These last couple of games in the preseason, he has been so solid about making his initial move, getting to the rim, and then dishing because he understands, hey, Kuminga, people respect you. People understand and honor the fact that you're a fantastic scorer. So use that to your advantage and get other guys involved, and that's exactly what he's done. And I got to say, showing development has Johnathan Kuminga been over these first couple games, which is exactly what we wanted to see. He's proving to the fan base, he's proving to his teammates and organization that, hey, I can work on these areas that you want me to improve, and I've been very impressed with Kuminga to start the year. And then, of course, last night, played well in the first half, already had upwards of 4 assists, and then gets ejected. And this is sort of a, what the heck's going on, Kuminga? Why did this end up happening? Well, essentially, Johnathan Kuminga got stepped on and also fouled on his hand. He had a bit of an ankle injury last season, so he got a little bit flustered about that. Ran up to the referee, actually sort of touched him a little bit, and that sort of was an initial, hey, it wasn't even a 2-tech ejection. It was an initial, hey, you're out of here type thing. But Steve Kerr kind of saying, I kind of liked it, actually. He had 6 first-half rebounds on the floor running. That's the JK that can really help our team, and I agree with Steve Kerr. I think you need to have a little bit of a fiery Johnathan Kuminga. Initially, when that happens, you think, oh man, this kid's in his head again. He's not in a good headspace. He's going to be frustrated. He's not happy with the organization, right? But this was more of a personal, right? Not happy with the officiating, not happy with the call. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be ejected in the preseason, but I didn't mind it too much. And then he also said this was a good opportunity to show that his teammates and his coach have his back. He said he didn't need an explanation to an ejection. Appreciated Kerr's post-game support. It meant a lot. But then also seeing this here, right? Kuminga saying the game has slowed down so much. I'm seeing everything. I'm playing at my own pace. And I have to agree, Kuminga's looked very, very good. He's making faster decisions. He's making better decisions. He's shooting the ball better. The three-pointer looks faster. It looks more consistent. So I'm excited about where Kuminga's game is going for the upcoming year, and he's going to be a major X factor. A couple of quick housekeeping things as far as injuries go. Moses Moody, this is a little bit concerning. We'll miss the final 3 preseason games. This was about a week ago-ish, but I'm just another update to show that, yes, Moses Moody not playing in the preseason. Not too concerned is Steve Kerr, and hoping that he'll be able to get back for the season opener because we do want him in that starting lineup of Steph, Moody, Jimmy Butler, Draymond, and Al Horford. Another injury that was a little bit concerning to start the year, Jimmy Butler got an MRI on his ankle yesterday. Steve Kerr said it sounds like it was clean and they're not super concerned about it. And then Brett Siegel saying that they're confident he'll play in the season opener after rolling his ankle. Nothing more than a tweak, it seems like, so that's encouraging to know that even though he's not playing in these last couple preseason games, that he should be ready to go for the upcoming season. And then this last thing is just, I just thought this was really cool. I saw this on Twitter. Starting the season, every NBA rookie will wear a debut patch on their jersey during their first game. Once a player makes their debut, their patch will be removed from the jersey and embedded into a one-on-one autograph trading card. And then these will be randomly inserted into sealed packs and then releasing in 2026. I got my older brother, major trading card guy, and this is something that I know probably 15 years ago he would have jumped at the opportunity to get. I feel like these cards have sort of gone away a little bit over the past couple seasons, and I just think it's a cool opportunity for these rookies to have a unique experience as far as the card world goes. Podziemski, Kuminga, these are two guys that You have to be excited about where they've developed over the last couple of years. And then you add Seth Curry, right? Then you add Al Horford. Then you add these other guys that also have an opportunity to come in and be solid role players. I see a potential for this team if those guys can find a way to be at least semi-consistent, right? If Brandin Podziemski can take that really good night and then a really poor night and turn it into a solid night after a solid night after a solid night, then maybe one game where you dip a little bit, but then 3 games where we say, wow, Pods, that's a really good stretch from Brandin Podziemski, and find a little bit more of a rhythm as opposed to this up and down roller coaster that it has been to start his and Johnathan Kuminga's career. I see some really exciting things from this roster, from this unit, that I'm very excited to see how it plays out for this upcoming season. Folks, 6 days away from NBA regular season basketball. Golden State Warriors. I'm getting so stoked. I already calling the buddies saying, hey, we are right here. It's go time. It's time to batten down the hatches, get everything down that we can do to ensure that these guys are ready to go for the regular season. Find a way to scrape up those injuries, right? Get everybody rested, get everybody healed, get everybody prepped, motivated, and ready to go. Kuminga, Podziemski, these X Factors, younger guys like Will Richard and Pat Spencer feel like maybe they can be impact players off the bench. Steph Curry, Draymond, Jimmy, the main guys, they're ready to go. Moses Moody making an impact, a leap in year 5. We'll see what happens. It is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We will catch you guys in the next one. And as always, go Dubs. Peace.